Jack was raised in Healdsburg, mostly, and his father had a ranch. They lived out in the country, and they had horses, well, a horse and a cow. And so before Jack could go to school, he'd have to go milk the cow. So a lot of times his dad would need him to work in the afternoon, so he would not go to school. And that was mainly his whole years growing up. He was always the, the one to help do all the work.
When Pearl Harbor happened, I was at the college, and when they talked about Pearl Harbor being bombed, nobody knew where Pearl Harbor was, and the best estimate was that it was someplace in the Philippines. It was a twin-engine fighter, and it was new, and it was the fastest plane that we had at the time, and I think everybody wanted to fly a P-38 that graduated from flying school. The Japanese were good pilots, and they had very good airplanes, and being a dogfight, you're very much fighting your equal, and they had lots of training, and you're scared. Everybody is. One time there was 4 of us that our job was to protect the convoy out there, and there was 10 of them came over there, and there was 4 of us, and it sounds like almost like a fairy tale, but anyway, we got in a fight with them, and we shot down 7 of the 10. The one plane, it was a fast airplane they had. It just went off and left my P-38. And anyway, he made a few turns, and I made a few turns, and I got a lucky shot in and blew him up. That was the first one. Then the second fight, the second one, I got that same fight, and I got 2. And that's how I got the Distinguished Flying Cross. There was no place to park the airplanes except side by side, all the way down, right alongside the strip. What do you do when you have 3 Japanese fighters coming at you at 450 miles an hour on there and everything? You pray to God, and I did. And I said, dear Lord, I said, there's 8 of us on the ground here, and we're totally helpless, and we're not going to be able to get in the air, and we have 3 Japanese airplanes diving on us. And I said, make them poor shots or have the outer perimeter guns shoot them down before they get to them. Well, they didn't. I was the last one, so they put 32 holes in my airplane, never hit me once, and it turned out that it didn't hit any of the other 7 pilots either. And so, I don't know, from then on I believed in prayer. It's called the Sabre, and it was at the time the fastest airplane in the world. We made it in 21 minutes, and it was an average speed of 672 miles an hour, which was 2 miles an hour faster than the world speed record. I've been married 66 years, and loved every minute of it.
No regrets at all. I have a wonderful husband and a wonderful family. Children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Oh, they love him, and they're all concerned because he is getting up to being 94, and he wants to still keep running out in his four-wheeler and doing all these things around the property. He's a good man, he's a hard worker. He's always been that way. He was like so many of the men in those days. They wanted to protect America, and he loved the idea that he was a pilot and took care of the country when it was needed.